Is it recording? Yes. Hey everyone. Hi to all the artsy peeps. Hi, my name is True, your host, also known as the Artsy Knitter. I am the Artsy Knitter on Instagram, on the Artsy Knitter podcast on Facebook, and the Artsy Knitter podcast on the Ravelry groups. I'm testing out a new mic that I got for the recorder that I used before. I can't seem to use YouTube capture from my laptop. I was trying to see if I could get it quickly, so I don't know how long this is going to take to upload. Those are the challenges of podcasting in the last couple months until I get a new camera. Forgive the background noise. I don't know how much the mic is going to pick up because of the fact that the streetcar, the lovely streetcar, comes right in front of my house. So, but yes, welcome to the Artsy Knitter. And I'm gonna try and I'm just gonna ad-lib. I'm not gonna be doing much editing, so I hope I can go one full go. It's been a while since I've podcasted. I know, I really apologize I know some people are like, don't apologize, it's just what it is, blah, blah, blah. And then there's some people who are like, where have you been? So what's been happening? It's been getting dodgy over the last couple months. I think since last year, September, when I had family that got sick, and it just kind of put me in not a tailspin, but just like a step back, look at my life, where am I going, what do I want to do with my life. I know what I want to do with my life, but I think I was splitting my time too much and not figuring out how I wanted my photography to connect enough to my knitting, or just making sure that I'm putting as much energy into my career as well. So what's really been happening, that's the artsy shenanigans going on. The next podcast I'll have little one on. She's been knitting again, yay! But I have been literally 100% pouring all my energy into my business. That's what's been happening. So as of February, I redid the structure of my business. For those of you who have not watched the first episode, I was a fashion photographer for quite a few years, but you'd be surprised when you're starting out how little money you make. You're only dependent on certain streams of people to get jobs through. And I decided once I stopped working at a very prestigious hotel as my side job, that I was going to go full force into my business. I just wanted to give it a good go, and I wanted my little one to see me give my all into my dreams. So I restructured the business with a business coach who's also a photographer. She gave me a good price structure. She helped me figure out where I'm going, what I want, what kind of products I want to provide, and the fact that I love photographing people's faces. When I draw faces. She's the same. And so I'm now what I call a contemporary portrait photographer. Recently, like today and yesterday, I was kind of feeling a little bit off because I had a conversation with a close friend who's also a photographer, who was like, yes, but what makes you most happy is fashion and fine art and doing exhibitions. So how do I balance those two, right? It's tricky because you need to give your all in marketing and structure, what your website's gonna be like, all that stuff. So I'm going through a big transitional change. So sorry for the noise, started the structural change in February, but I really hid behind, I hid behind preparing and getting everything going. And am I straight here, guys? So where was I? I literally redid not redid my portfolio, but changed. I started shooting natural light. I've trained myself on studio lights at the beginning of my career, so now I feel like I'm well-rounded. In August, I started networking with a group called the Pink Portfolio here in Toronto. I love them. I really, really love them. Like, I mean, I love this group. I started finding meetup groups, like groups that I could socialize and network with through meetup.com. I'm pretty sure that meetup.com is, if it's not worldwide, it's definitely all over Canada and all over the US. So that's a tip that you could try to find knitting groups. You could find any kind of social groups, mom groups, people who are into the business that you're into, or your potential clients. So though I'm now at another crossroads on how to like honor the fashion photographer in me and the fine art in me. Sorry, that's my iPad telling me that there's an email. And the contemporary portraiture is really, I'm shooting business owners, like maybe a knitwear designer who needs a headshot that's approachable and powerful and yet still warm. That balance is important. Who doesn't want to use their selfies anymore on their website or their LinkedIn profile? Yes, I see you. I know you probably, somebody's there watching me right now going, I'm using a selfie. I'm using a picture that my auntie took or my husband. My goal is to try and go out there and help these young business owners, not young, just business owners, period. Young, mature, whatever, all the people in the middle, get new headshots. And then I'm also doing basically any woman who decides that, you know what, I want heirloom imagery that would be like a celebrity would have gotten a cover shoot from Vanity Fair or Vogue. Why can't I have that same look? Well, it's incredibly hard because most, let me be careful. Some portrait photographers who've always done portraits don't shoot with the same aesthetic. And the everyday person honestly can't afford to get access to the Anna Leibovitz of the world or the people who are shooting fashion photography, because they're thousands and thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars to shoot for the day. So yes, as a fashion photographer, my day rate was higher than it is now, but it's still a good, comfortable amount. And I had to go through a lot of like dealing with money issues and like really remembering that I'm worth it. I had no problem with the way that the aesthetic of my photography looked. I knew that I was good at what I do. I felt good about the imagery. I was always growing and changing, but I wasn't connecting that to dollars and being confident and proud to say, this is what my rate is. Especially if I came across people who were used to those Sears $9.99, $7.99, $59.99 portraits that you go into a studio, you sit on a box or a chair, a stool, and it's in front of some crinkly background or whatever. And those companies don't exist. A lot of them don't exist anymore, guys. Like Sears, I'm pretty sure, or Walmart, they don't have those photo studios anymore. But what I'm doing is bringing a custom experience. You're incurring costs from the time I sit down with you for your pre-consultation. So like two clients that I'm proud of that I'm working with is Cara All Natural Products. I think that would be her website, caraallnaturalproducts.com. And I met her through my networking group, and she makes an amazing all natural product, skincare product line. And it was a great opportunity for me to shoot beauty work, because we're going to be shooting a beauty campaign, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. And you'll see posts on Instagram. You've seen me over the last couple of months posting about what I'm doing, but I'm also doing it on my other Instagram, which is The True, with no E, Portrait, all one word, The True Portrait, no E in True. And sometimes I post on The True Photographer, but it's really just my Artsy Knitter Instagram and The True Portrait that I'm focused on. and I'm letting you know what I'm doing. So Cara is somebody that I'm working with. I did her headshots. She's an opera singer as well, so I did some fancy ones, and I did some a different style of fancy for her company. And then another company, so I'll show you what her product line looks like. There, I hope it's not too bright. That's, ooh. So this is the luxury body cream, and then this is the ultra rich hand cream, which is amazing. I'm using it on my daughter because she has eczema. Fantastic stuff. The body butter and the Misha body butter, when you put it on, it goes on dry, so it's not greasy or sits on your skin and gets everywhere. It's really fantastic for knitters. So I recommend, if you're looking for an all-natural product that has no toxins in it, check these guys out. So they're my client, so I definitely would not recommend them to you if I didn't already, as you can see, use their products. I've given a lot of it for Christmas, her sugar scrubs. Anyway, this is not an ad for her or a podcast all about Cara. But I also have, oh, here's one of her luxury dry face wash. She's also pretty popular for that because there's not a lot of companies that do dry face wash. If you go on her website, you'll see so much more of her products and what she does. The other company that I am really proud to be a part of or to shoot for, you would have seen me post a lot about them on Instagram. So I'm trying to think right now what you would have seen or what I could show you of their work, but they are a yarn company called Yarns Untangled, and they are on Facebook and on Instagram. I'll show you on Instagram one of the I was trying to think of, oh, here's some of the work actually that I have done for like recently. I'll show you what I've been shooting. I redid my logo. Let me see if I can do this without it being a glare. The setup I had before, you could see it a lot better. And this is like, this client gets an app to put on their iPhone or their iPad. And that's their album, okay? So that's some of the work that I've been doing, but if you go on to trueportrait.com, you'll be able to see it a little bit better and get a gist of what it is I'm working on. So I have also the True Portrait on Facebook, so feel free to join that page so to keep kind of more connected to what it is that I'm doing. And so Yarns Untangled is a new knitting store in Kensington Market here in Toronto. They have a website, yarnsuntangled.com. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the photography that I have been working on with them so that you can kind of get a gist of, I'm wondering if I put everything on here. I'm like, oh, here are the portraits that I did of them so that you can see, like, they're one of I did a couple different ones, but one of the headshots that I did. And then let's see if I can find there. So that's the headshot, one of the headshots I did for them. So go ahead, Instagram, Facebook. I'm really excited to work with them, and we are really focusing on debunking this concept that knitters are only old people knit. And I don't care if you're 80. Okay, what does that mean? Like, why I don't feel like I should need to call this an 80-year-old or a 90-year-old an old people, old someone, old this, old that. People knit from the age of like 6, 8 to 80 to 90. And it's just about people knit. And you can be creative, you can be classic, you can be traditional, you can take the knitting style any way you like. So when you're tempted to think about that, what I'm doing with their brand, because they're part of this branding that I'm doing called the visual brand. And so your brand is like your logo, your overall look, your web presence, what you send out to the customers, like what visual presence you have to people, whether it's online or in person. And for example, I'll show you one of the patterns that are out right now, and it's free until the end of January, the 31st. So I recommend that if you want, this is just a plain, it's called the plain and simple hat pattern, and it won't be free for long. And I did the photography for that hat. Isn't that gorgeous? I love her. She's so gorgeous. That's Brenna. She's one of the owners. And let me see if I can show you some of the other photography that I've done for them. And we have a really fantastic spring campaign that's coming up for them in, like, I'm not sure what part of spring they're gonna do this, but I'll show you. Like, for example, I did this image for Halloween for them. Let me see if I can turn it so that you can see it. Like, yeah, I guess not. Like, like we basically used an I-cord maker and made yards and yards and yards and yards and yards of I-cord and wrapped both girls in it, like almost like mummies. And we did that for their Halloween imagery. I probably put some Instagram behind the scenes images, and I'm sure they have some on their Instagram as well. Here's another one just for the opening of their store and their opening party. I'm really happy with the imagery and what's coming up. I'm gonna have them on the show, and I'm gonna be putting out some videos and different things for them, and I'm excited. So I'm still connecting my knitting to my photography, but it doesn't leave me a lot of time to knit. It doesn't leave me a lot of time to podcast or to create these gorgeous videos for you. Let's see, we're 18 minutes in, so let's, and I won't be editing any of this. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I rebranded and got a whole bunch of like cards redone. Here's a little one, an artistic image I did of her. And then this is the new card, the new logo. And basically it's like I can get like a whole bunch of different images done on it, and I went and got them done at moo.com. I will put a link on my Facebook and on the Ravelry Group, just showing you how to get 10% off on Moo. They're fantastic. I'm in Canada, and I still want to, even though I could probably find somebody here that's even cheaper or something like that, I love the quality of the card. Is very solid and firm. The packaging, like I don't even need a card holder if I don't want one. It's just like that. Isn't that amazing? And it's hard. It's fantastic. So I'm pretty happy with my cards, and the networking has been helping. And now what I want to do is this year streamline all the things that I'm doing so that I can make more time. Like I can schedule time to podcast and get everything organized. So the question is, how often am I going to podcast? So lots of people podcast once a week. I cannot. My goal is to do 2 times a month or once a month. It's going to be one or the other. I may have to podcast and split the podcast into 2, but I'm hoping that that's what you can expect from me going forward. So starting with today, and I may even podcast with little one on, in a couple of days, and put that out a little later on, because I can only get her at certain times to sit with me, and it has to be in the day when there's lots of light and things like that. So that's kind of what's happening with the shenanigans. I have no more roommates, so that's another reason for the overdrive in focusing on my business as well. With no roommate to help with the cost of this place, it's a little bit stressful. I wish I had. I haven't been able to keep up with the Artsy bags that I was putting out. I still have a few. If people are interested, I can post what I have, and you can just buy them straight from me through PayPal or something like that. It'll just take a little while to come in. My laptop is literally falling apart. Like, there is a crack on the two sides of the screen right close to the joint, and the computer is peeling and falling apart. So I actually have to tape it up again today. I've got duct tape all over it. That's why I also haven't been able to edit the traditional way. Let's see if I can edit through the video editor through YouTube. So if you see this video, you know that I was successful. But yeah, so I'll show you a little bit of the swag that I just picked up. This is a Canadian brand called Yarns of Richard de Rees. There's the tag, and this is like a kind of like a white or like ice gray with charcoal grays, blacks, and a denim blue speckle, like blacks and denim blue speckle in it. I'm really in love with speckled yarn, and totally enabling you here. This is kind of like dusty pinks, different shades of pinks and turquoise, not turquoise, dust fuchsia and light pinks, a tiny bit of like a taupe, and a blue denim speckle in there as well. Slightly a touch of this browny yellow, I feel like. So I got this because I am obsessed. I didn't get this there, but I'm using my Malintosh Cosmic Wonder Dust to make, I'm gonna be getting into brioche knitting, guys. I'm gonna go cray. Here is the hat that I'm gonna be working on next once I wrap up some of my projects. I really need to whip some whippies, basically. So that's what the Malintosh, ooh, can you see it? Stephen West, he's amazing. That's what I'm going to be using those pieces that I just showed you. So that's that. What am I working on right now? So let's get right into the whippies. Whippies. Let's see if I can even remember my format. So the other thing was in October, November, my best friend had what we thought was a aneurysm. She's only a few years older than me, but it wasn't. They can't seem to tell. They treated it like an aneurysm anyway, and she was in the hospital in Jersey for 3 weeks. I stayed with her and took care of her every day, except for the days that she kicked me out and told me I had to go do something and relax or something like that. Yeah, got there as early as I possibly could, left as late as I possibly would allow her husband to drag me out by my tiny bit of hair left. So spending time with her, and she also challenged me a couple months ago or maybe a year ago, you know, where is your beast mode? Like when you used to live in New York, you used to be like beasting it out. Like beast mode means go-getter, getting things done, not burning yourself out or trying to be a superwoman, as in like I don't know how to put that. It's like balancing, learning to balance taking care of yourself, taking care of my daughter, and taking care of my business. I am I went through a period of time where I just felt a little bit sad and I just didn't want to do anything. And now I have come out of that, and what she calls it is hashtag beast mode. So I'm in beast mode now. So anyway, I stopped to tell you that little story because I made this heavy duty, because there's a lot of blanket style shawls out right now. I was like, I don't necessarily want, not shawl, like scarves, like huge oversized scarves. I wanted a shawl that went on the outside of my coat. So Yarns Untangled has a pattern coming out soon that you need to look out for. I'm pretty sure it's going to be called Jackie's Shawl. And I really want you to look out for it. This is my knit of that. And so my BFF's favorite colors are purple and orange, and they're also her brand colors. And I made her something a couple of years ago with that. And this time I decided to make like BFF shawls basically. So this should be hers, though I think she's going to try and steal no, this one is mine. I feel like she's gonna steal this one, and I'll show you the next one that I made, but let me get a little closer so you can see. It's just like really, really, really beautiful, rich colors. I'll tell you what let's see if I have the paper. I really recommend you always keep the papers for like the labels for all your yarn, because if you lose or forget what you're doing or what you're working on, it's bad. So this yarn, it's like literally, it's what you would call super bulky. It's heavy duty. Nothing gets through this. When I go like that, I don't feel the freezing cold on my face, and it's cold here in Canada, let me tell you. So this is the yarn that I'm using. I think it's also Canadian. It's pretty much Canadian, right? Yeah. It's called the Mineville Wool Project. So it's 100% wool, 50% superwash, and 50% non-superwash. 400 grams, 480 meters, guys. It's $42 Canadian for it. And it's about 7 millimeter needles you would use. So I love this yarn. Like I love this yarn. Like I literally I'm planning another pattern that I want to design, and I want this yarn to be the feature yarn for it. This is called, the one that this is from is called Clementine. So hers is slightly, very slightly different. What I did was the only thing I changed was adding eyelet rose right where the garter ridges are. See, you see them? So, you know, this yarn is so delicious. Normalize there, yeah. And the way it knits up looks very different than when you first see it. So the reverse, what's gonna happen now is this is the purple with the orange trim, and then I'm gonna do the orange with a purple trim. And I have a feeling she's gonna try and steal this one, and the orange one's gonna be mine, but I'm okay with that. Whichever one she ends up stealing, but I'm wearing the purple one for now. And then I'll just look like I have a new shawl after that. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. That's what's on the needles. In my gorgeous Love Sock Wool. I think that's the Instagram name for her. I saw this bag on Instagram and ordered it from her. So it's Love Sock Wool. It's like vintage kids, vintage children. I love it with the little, see guys? She's amazing. And then when you turn it around, it's got the little girl on it. Anyway, we're 30 minutes into the show, and I just want to make sure I get through talking about everything. So what does that leave me? That leaves me with what I have done. I'm not sure if, so this would be my ta-das. I'm not sure if I showed this. I'm so in love with the Madeline Tosh. I made just like a little scarf. And this actually is what on my Ravelry, it's called the Tooth Fairy Shawl. and it is the pattern itself, which I still think I changed. I really want my winter stuff to be bright colored and to have some pop, so that I don't always subscribe to like, ooh, I now need autumn colors because it's fall, and dark, you know, tones for winter time. I want bright pops of color to remind me that spring and summer is not far away. Even if it's months away, I still do this. So this shawl is the simple shawl for fancy yarns, and it's for fingering weight. Yeah, and it's by Jen Hints. So I'll show you what that looks like. So she has no patterns, I think, in hers, like no stripes. But I put stripes and eyelet holes and all kinds of things, and like a neon trim on the edge. I really wanted to make it my own, so I did that to keep me nice and bright. I'm sure I have it on my Instagram. I also did this with another friend. We believe in the same thing. She's from England. We're both like neon, crazy. Let's see here. This is called the 504 King West, which is also the streetcar that I take. Oh, sorry. See the trim at the bottom? Oops. So I hope you can see all of it. It's not that deep, right? But you could change that. You could put, the way this pattern is done, I could have done more of the white. So it's like baby blue, turquoise, and then white on the edge here. So I call this my 504 happy shawl. All about happiness, right? What else did I do? What else have I been working on? Oh, I wanted a mascot for the studio, because when I stopped having a roommate, I decided to stay in the apartment I'm in, though it pains me, and turned it into a studio. And then we have our bedrooms further into the apartment. And I wanted a mascot. So, all about the bright colors. A little heart. I did a Voodoo Loves You. That's what I chose to call it. She's got long gangly. She's supposed to represent me with my little mohawk vibe. See the side of her head? Like that. And then, oh, she's not done. Ah, sorry, off camera, really bad. This is supposed to be Ava, little one. I haven't done her legs yet, but you see how she's speckled? She's got a little lace and some pigtails. And the eyes are from 6060 Etsy, I think. But these are the mascots. Don't ignore that she has no legs. La, 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 la. So this was such a fun knit. I did knit her in acrylic, but I wanted her to really last a long time and take some tough beatings in case she falls around, or if I have kids in here or something. So I did that. What else? There would be no show notes, by the way, guys. Don't even, I can't even. I did some newborn hats, like the little apple hat, my project page. Just go on my project page. And I did this turban, which is called the Lazy Daisy Dress Up Kit by Anna and Heidi Pickles. Pickles! I like pickles! I like that. Anna and Heidi Pickles. That is like a fairy tale name for a designer. I just need you to see how cute this kid looks in this hat. Is that not the cutest turban you've ever seen? It's a small fit. I would say do it a little bigger than it says, but I did it in Madeline Tosh, and if I were to make it again, I would try and make it a little larger. She has, I think, a pattern that's like a little bit sized up, so you can check that out. And then the little apple hat, I'm sure that's what the pattern is called as well, but just go check out my Ravelry. Actually, did I find it beforehand? No, I didn't. So, and then I was making a whole bunch of newborn pants, little like pants, shorts. You see that it's not even finished yet. I made it with a little bit of halo to it. Can you see the halo? Like, I literally used, I think, alpaca, and then I put mohair so that you could see the halo when it's being photographed, and then gave it some texture. Wish I had chosen to do it in seat stitch, but I did it in, like, I think what they call moss stitch. So instead of knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, and then the reverse, I did 2 rows of that. Knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, 2 rows, and then I swapped. So it's like 2 rows of one, and then swapped after that for the last 2. So 2, and then 3 and 4 are the opposite. So these are really, really cute. They're gonna be for newborn shoots if I end up having them. I don't advertise that I shoot newborns, but I shoot them in case, you know, like there's a lot of kids being born in my knitting group and people wanting to book. I just had an email that I have to check. Somebody just had their baby, so I have to get back to her and see when she wants to shoot, or if and when, I should say. So those are kind of like the things that I have been working on. That's just a few. I've been keeping everything to small portions, so to speak, because I don't have a lot of time for big projects like sweaters and so on. I want to clear off my palette, whip those whippies. And so the next show, I will have a little one with me, and we'll be able to show all the stuff I made for her for Christmas. I did some crocheting. So for all the ladies who watch me that are crocheters, look out for next episode. And that's pretty much, I would say, everything that I intended to talk about today. I wanted to keep it not too long. Yeah, I have by the time I do the next show, you might see I have another hat pattern that I have going. But I have some shawls that were done by Old Loops Podcast, and I have to get back to them. I love those girls. Like, I want to support any pattern that they put out. Like, they're hands down the bomb. Them, Tiny L Knits, and Tin Can Knits. I hope you guys got was it 12 Days of Christmas? They put out a pattern every day or something like that. So anyway, I'm keeping my knitting to small things. So, you know, like stuffies, newborn stuff, hats for me, hats for a little one, you know, cowls. I have another cowl that I made for someone as well for Christmas that I want you to see. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, you know, personally, there's just been a lot going on, and even within my personal life, like people who I thought were genuinely my friends doing crazy things and saying crazy things that I just never thought would ever happen. And it just makes me think that I should be very careful when I decide to do certain things or make certain decisions. But regardless of that, I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm keeping my life simple as much as I can, and I'm focusing my energy on my little one and my business. It's not fully off the ground. You know, I'm trying to make sure I shoot at least 4 times a month at minimum. But if you guys know of anybody out there who is looking to take their business to the next level, who's looking to get a fashion lookbook done, a cover, a skincare line, nail collection, knitting book, somebody who is the editor of Vogue Knitting, I am so ready. So ready. I'm keeping my life simple, basically, guys. I want to send out love towards my artsy peeps, the people who have been in my life and the people who have yet to come into my life, the people who are still in my life, my family, the friends I've made through knitting. I want to be happy. I'm in one place. I'm not trying to travel too much because I have to put towards my energy to this business, because no one's gonna come in on a white horse and rescue me, and I've always known that. So I have to make things happen, pop off for me, like pop off, beast mode, you know what I mean? Yeah, trying to think of what else. I just want to be very careful not to, you know, I have to say only very specific things. I don't want to be, yeah. That's it, I think, guys. No artsy news. I've shown you a little bit of the stuff that I have been working on. This year I am going to be going back into shooting fashion and shooting fine art, but I am a little bit overwhelmed, I can tell, yesterday and today, just with like figuring out all that. I have to separate my websites. My website is trueferguson.com, and then I need to separate it and have my portraiture on one side and my fashion, my fine art on another. And to brand them, they require different kind of branding, different kind of marketing, and I need to do this. I want to take my little one to Paris. She's been thinking about it for a long time, and I want to take her home to Jamaica for a month at some point, and that's going to cost like $4,000 to do. And I want to see my family. Yeah, I just want to have a fuller life. And now, don't get me wrong, I've led a full life. Like, this is my second career, you know. I spent years and years and years modeling, and now transitioning into business, I have to remember that all the things that come with that, I, you know, take the skills from those things and add them into what I do. It's one of the things that makes my photography stand out. I've been on the other side of the camera. I'm able to do the hair and makeup, though I fully believe in booking a makeup artist and a hairstylist and a wardrobe stylist. Not all the time the clients can afford to do that. So I'm able to step in and make sure that the pictures have that quality anyway. And I'm proud of my background coming into play in my second career. So yeah, I'm like rambling, but really and truly, this career means a lot to me. And I'm kind of sad that I've had great loves in my life. And but I'm still sad that there are some people that I've let distract me and take me away from what I'm doing, because I'm still the one left with having to build it, you know. But I learn from my mistakes, and I learn to make better choices all the time. That's all I can do, and that's it, really. Yeah. Is there anything else? Yeah, I'll just talk more about what I'm doing each podcast, so you know where I'm at. I'm just building a new focus, and this year I'm excited. I've been doing the Leonie Dawson workbooks for business, and the book is like 147 pages. I mean, I think the last 30 are like blank pages and like cutouts and things like that, but it is a fantastic workbook. She has one for life goals and one for business goals, and I'm really just trying to get a different perspective on how to handle money, manage money, how to set goals and focuses for business. So feel free to look up that book. I probably will have a link at some point on either my Instagram or and I posted it on the book on Instagram, the cover of it, and on the Ravelry Group. So, you know, send messages, let me know what you guys are doing, what you guys are thinking, what you guys are thinking you want to hear about. And let me know if you want the remainder of the artsy bags that I have. And look out for the next couple of shows, because it's going to be on in the new location. The store is not a new location. It used to be another yarn store, but I'm going to film the show over there as much as I can. But now I have a room that has a lot of light, which I didn't have before, so that helps. Okay, enough rambling, blah blah blah. Down there, subscribe. There is a like button. There is a subscribe button. There will probably be the link to all the social medias. Share through Google Plus, on Facebook. Yeah, thanks for your patience. I love you guys. Mwah.